Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Tiffany and I'm a human design reader among many other things. And I wanted to do a series of videos where I'm answering questions that I get in human design readings. One of the questions that I get is, what is the difference between the Sacral Energy Center and the ego or heart energy centers? So, quick disclaimer though, these energy centers are both very complex and nuanced, as are all the energy centers in the human design body graph chart. But I just wanted to make you aware that I'm going to be sharing an overview of them just to kind of highlight the similarities and the differences. All right, so I'm just going to get right to the content. All right, so I created a slide to hopefully help illustrate what I'm going to be talking about today as far as the similarities and differences between the sacral and the ego or heart energy centers. So there's a lot going on here. Hopefully it'll make sense as I move through the information. So you'll notice here on the left-hand side, I have a body graph chart that has the sacral energy center within a circle. So you'll see here towards the bottom, we have the defined sacral energy center. And then on the right-hand side over here, I have a circle around the ego or heart energy center. I also have information here on the left-hand side related to the sacral that I'm going to walk through, and also with the ego or heart energy center that I'm going to walk through. So first, let me start with the sacral energy center. So the sacral energy center is essentially the creative life force within us. It is the energy that supports survival in the sense of, think about creating new things, creating life, creating humans, sexuality, fertility, vitality, work, persistence, movement. This sacral energy center is really designed to respond to life. So only generators and manifesting generators are going to have a defined or colored in sacral energy center. And so these energy types, they are really designed to respond to the things that the universe is putting in front of them. So when the sacral encounters things in the world that it really likes, it creates excitement, it creates energy, it creates this juiciness to go after that thing, okay? The ego or the heart energy center, though, is more about willpower. It's about self-esteem. It's about achievement on the material plane. It's really designed to ensure that the individual, but that also the community, has the right foundation for survival, okay? When the sacral energy center is colored in, as you can see in this picture, it means that this individual, and again, it's going to be generators or manifesting generators, it means that the defined sacral is going to be a reliable power source for them. Because, as I mentioned earlier, it wants to go after things that are essentially lighting it up. It wants to go after the things that are creating excitement, that it wants to go after the things that are going to make it feel satisfied in life. So when this energy center is defined, it can really be this very reliable power source to go after things. For the ego center or the heart center, when it's colored in, it is also going to be a power center in the sense that this person is going to have their own consistent access to willpower, right? They will have consistent access to and be motivated to go after the things that they said they selfishly want to do. So in a way, while the sacral creates a lot of energy, the ego center also creates some energy, and think of this as more of a bit of a backup generator. All right, so what happens when the sacral energy center is white or open in a chart? So when the sacral energy center is white or opened in a chart, we know that the only energy types that are going to have a white or open sacral energy center are going to be manifestors, projectors, and reflectors, okay? And what this means is wherever we're white in our chart, so in this chart you see this throat energy center is white, all of the energy centers at the top are white. When they're open like that, it means that they're receptive. They're like antennas. It's picking up on the auras of other people. It's picking up on energies around them. And this can be a great source of wisdom, right? So when you have an open sacral center, it means this individual is receptive and is going to pick up on the life force and energy of other people around them, especially from generators and manifesting generators. And these energy types will also be able to leverage that energy for a period of time, essentially borrow that energy for a period of time to help them get things done and create new things. When the ego or the heart energy center is open or white, it means that these individuals will not have consistent access to willpower to get things done. And most of the population has an open or white ego center. Only about 30% of individuals will have a defined or colored in ego center. So what does this mean exactly? It means that when you have an open or white ego center, it means that you're not designed to be motivated like all the time and chasing after things just because you want something. People who have an open ego center, it's really important for them to lean into and embrace that there are going to be periods of their day or periods of their week or their life where they're just feeling really unmotivated and they just don't feel like going after the thing that they really want. And it's important to recognize this as a gift and embrace the fact that when you have an open heart energy center, that you don't have to prove your worth to anyone. The universe didn't put you here to go after things in that way. And let me be really clear. When you have an open ego center, it doesn't mean you're not here to get things done and be successful and that sort of thing. It's none of that. It just means that your willpower is going to ebb and flow. I have an open ego center and I definitely see it. I have days or parts of my day where I feel like I have more willpower behind me to go after the things I want. And then I have times when I just want to sit on the couch and do nothing. And so it's important to embrace that as a time for you to just kind of kick back and get some self-care and let ideas come to you versus just going after things. All right. So the next thing I want to do is I want to go back and forth between the two centers and talk about their similarities, but also their nuances. And again, I'm talking about this at a high level. So first, let's talk about being a motor center. They're known to be motor centers, which means that they move people to do things. They create energy. And the Sacral Energy Center is here to create new things. It's to create human life. It's to create babies. It's to create new products. It's here to create new things. And the Ego or Heart Energy Center is also here to be a motor center and to create energy. But what its interest is, it's more about thriving on the material plane. What can we do to make sure that the community is supported, that we have all the right things we need, that people are being recognized for the work that they do? And there's this drive or this willpower to go after that. Both energy centers are concerned with survival. So the Sacral Energy Center is all about procreation, making babies, nurturing, making sure that family members are nurturing their loved ones, are nurturing their children, are nurturing the elderly. This center, the Sacral Energy Center, is also about bonding, making sure that individuals are bonding, because if we don't bond with each other, then we're not going to care, right? And for survival of our community or our tribe or our family, we need to be bonded with each other. And so this is how the Sacral Energy Center is concerned with survival. The Ego or Heart Energy Center is also concerned with survival, but it's more around resources. Do we have the right resources? Are we controlling resources in the right way? Are we making sure everything's available to people? It's also concerned about, does the community have what it needs to thrive and have success in life? It's also concerned about community dynamics. If we don't have the right community dynamics, then we're not going to be successful. And it also is concerned about personal growth. What will benefit everyone in the group? But also, are we being recognized for the work we do? Are we recognizing other people for the work that they do? All right, and then finally, when you pull together your human design body graph chart, you will notice that there's something called authority in your chart. And this is how we gain clarity to make decisions. So it's possible for you to have, if you're a manifesting generator or a generator to have sacral authority, not always. So make sure you pull up your chart. But if the sacral shows up as authority voice for you, this is how do I make decisions? This authority voice says, is this thing exciting or satisfying to me? Will it make me satisfied in life? And so that is the voice of the sacral. When your ego or heart energy center is a authority in your chart, so again, just because you have a defined ego or heart center doesn't mean that it's your authority. But if you pull up your body graph chart and you see that you have ego authority, that is when you would use it as for decision making. And so the ego voice of authority says, do I selfishly want this thing or not? It's not necessarily concerned about other people. In this case, it's more like if you're making a very big decision, do I selfishly want it, even though I can't explain why? All right, so that concludes my comparison of these two energy centers. If you have any questions, let me know. And if you are interested in any other energy centers being compared, let me know because I'd be happy to do another video just like this.